Hello everybody, amazing day today, right? There is Jarek Bucholc from Street Smart Real Estate Investing, Canada Real Estate Investors Club, Jarek Bucholc group of companies and many other companies. And today, while driving from Red Deer, Canada to Calgary, Canada, we have a Brett Michaels. Hello Brett, how you been doing today?
Hello Jarek, hello everybody out there. I'm doing great. It's great to be here.
Perfect. So I would definitely like to talk to you about many topics which are real estate investors in any way and any city in Canada or US they are facing, which is marketing, is it?
Marketing 101, dear to my heart.
Dear to your heart.
Yes.
So, Michael, can you just in 30 seconds tell who you are, what are you doing, and what your primary operations are in Calgary area?
Yes. My name is Brett Michaels. I'm one of the founding partners of Springport Wealth. You can check us out at springportwealth.com. Please do. We are a primarily house flipper, also a realtor, and we're also looking at purchasing apartment buildings within the greater Calgary area and Alberta.
Okay, so why we are driving today?
Actually, we're driving because we have just come from looking and inspecting a potential multifamily purchase in Red Deer.
Okay.
It was a great property to walk through, and looks like there's potential, but that's all we will say for now, except that the seller appears to be very motivated, and that is because of a section of marketing.
Okay, so why you are so secretive about that? Just to give you an idea.
Well, you know, in this business, sometimes there's fires that you need to put out before things come together. So we like to make it known once it's done. But we are in the initial beginning, pre-due diligence, we shall call it.
Okay, so what do you know as far about that property? Why you think that is a good valuable investment opportunity, and what we were doing today?
Okay, so number one, first things first, it's an off-market deal. It's not on the MLS. So if you find a seller through your marketing or your network that is willing to sell and not on the MLS, there's a potential that it's a good deal. We have it through good knowledge of someone very experienced with the market, that the numbers are workable. The neighborhood is good. We know that from who we spoke with. And there seems to be long-term tenants, and it's 100% occupancy.
100% occupancy, and there is a lot of room to improve.
Absolutely.
Right, force appreciation, which, you know, you should be making money when you will be buying, and, you know, extra bonuses, force appreciation, and other, you know, incomes, which can be also selling the parking stalls, right, with the electricity already there, can be very beneficial, right? So they have a separate meters. There is not much a physical improvement about property, which is a plus.
A big bonus, yes.
Right, and the rentals are in the lower margins and in the very desirable area. So, you know,
there's lots of opportunity here.
So we would be stupid not to give an offer, just to give you an idea, right? Especially in the current market in Alberta, right, where people are still thinking that there is a stagnant and not much thing happening. But, you know, I always believe that appreciation is extra bonus, and we will be making money while buying the property. On top of it is, Brett didn't mention that we can structure creatively the deal by not only giving outright the purchase offer and buying the property from the homeowner, the property owner, but he's open for very creative, you know, deals. And if you wanna know, follow us on, you know, streetsmartrei.com website, listen to the podcast, and then we will update you about the information. But this is just one of deals happening on a regular basis, and I would like to ask Brett, because that's what I believe it is the most efficient and very powerful message from active real estate investor. Doesn't matter where you are, what kind of marketing and why marketing? Why do you think that marketing is so important in your business, and how you do that marketing?
Well, basically, sum it up in a nutshell, if you're not marketing, you don't have a business. You just have a stagnant, dead website. You have stagnant, dead phones. You don't have deals if you're not marketing. No one is going to show up at your door to say, hey, buy my house at a discount. I want to sell it. You have to make it known that that's what you do. You have to find the sellers, find the deals, and use your network as well. But without marketing, you have no business.
Okay. So how do you market? What kind of tools you are using? Or I believe it, and correct me if I'm wrong, there is two parts of the marketing: building recognition and proving track that you can deliver, you can close the deals, you can help people in the dire straight situation. When they are selling their property, you can help potential home buyers by creatively structure the deals where they cannot buy conventional way. And one of the most appealing for me personally is helping people which they work their every day with their money, and I want to invest more than in GIC. People which they trust you with your skills, credentials in order to make them money, right? So tell me, what is your day? How you market? What are you doing on a regular basis to make sure that you have enough generated leads from the, let's talk about just generating the leads, and then we will discuss about, how you create your credibility and to prove in the track. Are you okay with that?
Oh, absolutely.
Perfect.
So there's a few avenues in talking just about marketing. There's passive and active marketing for leads. Passive marketing can be things like online classified ads or Facebook or Google. It's more of an active set and forget. Then there's also bandit signs or lawn signs fall into that as well. Then there's more active style marketing for deals, which is door knocking, taking lists, getting directly to the sellers, flyers. All those fall into categories of active marketing. But there is a vast array of marketing strategies to find leads. Just really quickly, expired listings, for sale by owners, flyers, like I said, door hangers, foreclosure lists, which I know if you're looking for those pre-foreclosure lists, Jarek is a great resource for that. Don't forget to check that out. Also, realtors and your network as well. They always have access to properties that they're looking to offload that are hard to sell for them because of the condition. So there's so many avenues. You just have to pick your 3, 4, or 5. Me personally, I employ the strategy of flyers, or postcards. Those work well in my particular market here in Calgary. I also employ lawn/bandit signs. Those work well.
Okay.
We also deploy our own version of a foreclosure list that we use direct mail, that we consistently mail to. Those generate a lot of leads as well. Our network brings us deals because we create relationships with other wholesalers within the Calgary community, especially with people like within the Street Smart Real Estate Investing Group. A lot of great group of wholesalers there. So those are the main strategies that we deploy. So basically, I try to automate that. I do still hand out some of the door knocking and flyers myself. If I'm driving for dollars in a neighborhood, I will. We do obviously hire a company or individuals to deliver the flyers for us. We hire someone to put up the bandit signs every Friday. Pick them up every Sunday evening.
Why Friday?
Well, anyone in the know will know that city workers, we love them because they only work during the week. So no one wants to get a call on a Monday to take away their sign that's by an electrical pole. So the city workers don't work on the weekend. So we put them up Friday. We know that they're going to be seen by everyone going to Costco and Home Depot and all these places. They always get seen. And Friday Sunday evening we pick them up, and we get to reuse them. So we also help the earth because we get to recycle.
Oh, definitely, definitely.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the numbers for the posters and the door hangers, right?
Yeah.
So give everybody who's listening this information, right? What kind of numbers we can expect, right? So let's say hypothetically 100 door hangers or flyers.
Okay.
What the turnaround? What to expect?
Now there will take some tweaking. Let me preface by saying that first. It will take some tweaking to find what works for you. But right now for us, we're finding that for every 100 we drop off, we get between 4 and 5 calls.
Okay, how many can close?
One out of when we get to 100. By the time we get to 100 calls, one of them is a close.
Okay, so 100 calls. How do you handle those calls?
Well, we automate it again. Shout out to Bigger Pockets, because if you want, a good resource would be to go to biggerpockets.com. But there's many other resources you can go to. I know Jarek has a great resource for his automated call answering services. We personally use a company based out of the States that answers the calls. They have a script. They send us the lead, and then we call the lead back. So this way there's always someone that answers the phone, because the speed to lead is key. So the lead will call, the seller will call, the company or assistant will ask the questions on the script, send it to us by email.
Okay. We
will call them back, set up an appointment. So we never are actually answering the calls. We just take time each day, twice a day, for an hour in the afternoon, an hour in the evening. Call the sellers back, set our appointments, because the key is getting the appointment
right away. So the way how I understand, you have a live assistant service, which if somebody calls for that particular number, they are getting right away an answer under your name, right?
Yes, that's correct.
They have all the questionnaires, and then you paying for that service. How you pay it? By the number call received, or referral, or?
It's by minute. So there's a bare minimum that you do pay.
Okay.
It's as low as $150 per month.
Okay.
For bare minimum. Then you pay by minute. So with us, what we were finding, we had to shorten our script, because there are times when we're getting 10 calls a day,
okay,
and that can add up to minutes, because our scripts were so long. Okay. So it probably added 6 to 7 times our regular budget for a call answering service. So what we did is we shortened the script, and then we get the information when we call the sellers back. But that's basically what happens. They answer, send us a lead, we call them back.
Okay, so more likely, what kind of return of investment for your marketing to close one deal? Just give us a number. Don't take the numbers, because we don't want to make everybody jealous about operations. However, to make understand that, one, the message, you have to automate it, right?
Right.
Second of all, you have to delegate and make everybody within the funnel have different goals, and as long as you delegate and use different resources, you are saving a lot of time and effort, right? So you can focus primarily on calling the people which are already pre-qualified and willing to sell the property or buy property. Absolutely. Or invest with you, and that's the primary key, right? Is it?
Absolutely. Time is of the essence, so you don't want to spend time on mundane tasks, and that's why you hire out. So all you want to be looking for is deals or money, pretty much.
And delegated, right?
Yes.
So you are talking about the loan sites, right? If I can give a hint, one of the things which I used to have it, right? I did one of the most productive sign which I ever made was to put on the intersection of the McLeod and 162nd.
Okay.
When you were going north, right? I sorry guys, but that is like laughable, because that sign was visible for very, very busy intersection, be on the island, right? So everybody who were turning left, they saw We Buy Houses with the phone number, right? And that sign was there how many months? Tell me.
I couldn't tell you.
Guess it. Give me a guess, guys. Guess it.
A month.
A month. How about? Okay, guys, guess it. I'm just curious if you will see it.
I sound way off. 2 months?
No, this is with the stick. I will give you a hint.
Okay.
With the glue behind, so you cannot take it out much.
Wow. Okay.
Almost 14 months.
14 months.
Almost 14 months, to the point when that sign was part of the collision and was had to take it out. And I've seen people trying to take it out. That was a long time ago, guys, but if you are creative, that was one of the most productive signs which I have ever dealt with, and that was luckily my insight, right? Wow. Another thing is, I used to have a ladder, and I used to put on the high points where the city guys, they could not take it with the ladder guys, right? So
that's beautiful. Sorry guys, just so you know, sometimes you'll put up a lawn sign or a bandit sign and you get called within an hour to take it down.
Right.
If you have a sign for a weekend, that's a success. 14 months is...
Give or take, like I don't want to just tell you exactly the numbers, but...
More than a year. That's
2 winters, I know, 2 winters.
That's Elon Musk territory right there. So, I don't know, that's phenomenal. So that's unheard of.
And another hint which I like a lot to implement is, if you are on the busy intersection and there is a house right with the fence or high-end balcony, reach out to that homeowner, because within their property they can put any signs whatever they want, and you can put huge bandit sign on their balcony where every car stopping there, and you pay them $50, $40, whatever. At the top you can, if you make a deal from that particular sign, you can give them, $500,000, right?
Yeah.
Sharing is the most powerful thing, and respecting everybody, right? So that's another hint which I'd like to share with you guys. Use it, and I am not doing copyrights, but if you will positively think about our team, I will be very appreciated, right? So that's something about the marketing, bandit signs. What else do you suggest to use it and consider in order to make sure that you have a higher chances of closing the leads?
Okay. Now, a key thing is your network.
Okay.
That is very key. Now, there's another thing you need to look at when you're talking about your network is, how are you presenting yourself? Are you someone that people want to work with? Are you someone that creates trust, credibility that someone would want to give or bring in on a deal? So think about that in anything you're doing when you're operating within your business, even outside of it, because it does bleed in. So if you think about always providing value to somebody or helping someone with their business, because if you help them grow, they will help you grow. If you're only being selfish, people won't consider you when there's a potential for a profit or a deal. So if you help somebody, you leverage your own network, or give them access to people with resources that you might have. You help their business grow. When the time comes, if you're always doing this and you make it known that you're looking for something, when the time comes, they will think of you. So there's a great way to build your network, but you have to do what you say you're going to do and make it clear and follow through, or else you're dead in the water. So network is also very, very, very key. And don't forget that, because that's a great way to leverage everybody that you know.
This is the people business, right?
Absolutely. I mean, it's a team sport.
Team sport, that's number one. Number two, if you screw one, everybody will know, because you cannot imagine everybody knows each other. Doesn't matter if you are in different cities. If you are an active investor, people will know of you, they will know you, or they made money with you, right?
Yeah, people talk, guys.
People talk, don't screw anybody. Network is the primary key too, right?
And the more experience you have, the bigger your network will grow. the more people will want to come to you.
Okay, so Brett, tell me more about your daily routine. I want to know what exactly you're doing within the period of the day work or even weekends, right?
Sure. So I'll preface this by telling you all the streams of income that myself and my company have.
Sure.
Sales, real estate sales, because I'm a licensed realtor. We flip homes, wholesale homes, especially agreements for sale.
Okay.
Like I said, we're looking at apartment buildings as well, and I'm also a general contractor. So I do still take on general contracting jobs partially as well. Okay. So basically my day looks like this. I wake up 5 a.m., go to the gym. After that, get on the computer for a bit and do any emails that I need to do. Do any general contracting work that needs to get done. Market/flyer if I need to.
What do you mean by that?
Door knock or deliver flyers myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you are in the trenches, right?
Yeah. Whatever it takes that needs to get done. If I pay someone, that's a bonus. But at the end of the day, I want to make sure it gets done. And companies do them. That's great. People do them. That's great. But sometimes they lie, and you can check, and you're always looking for new people. But I know if I'm doing it, no matter what, it's getting done. So this is the way that I generate leads.
Okay.
Then in the evenings, I go on meetings every evening. It's either on the phone or a Skype-style call with an investor looking at investing in one of our projects, or going and meeting a seller, putting an offer, or listing a property. But every evening, I'm meeting with somebody. If I don't, something's wrong.
Okay, that's very, very beneficial, right? Is there anything like out of ordinary of the business person, right? Because I believe that part of the being successful is automating the logistics, right?
Yes.
Okay. Number two, knowing the people and knowing how that is done, right? So if you have done it, if you are telling people how to do it, like the flyer distribution, right? You know how much time takes.
Exactly.
You will know how many flyers you can distribute within period of the time.
That's correct.
Right? Nobody will screw you, nobody will tell you, nobody will lie to you, right?
Yeah.
And that's your business, right? So
yeah, it's easy to, pardon my French, but you can smell bullshit.
Bullshit, yeah. We are normal people, so don't worry about that.
So if you know that it takes a certain amount of time to deliver a certain amount of flyers, and someone says they did this many, you know you're getting screwed, or you know they're doing a good job. But you can't tell unless you've done.
So let's talk about those flyers, because I like the idea, right? So what kind of flyers they work in the most, the better in your personal experience, and what kind of flyers overall people are distributing, and what is the most effective way, right?
Okay. Now, I noticed simply that the uglier and more personal and handwritten the flyer appears to be, the better your response.
Are you going to write all of those letters?
No. Basically, we photocopy handwritten flyers.
Okay.
There's lots of ways to do it.
Okay.
I do get discounts because of what I do for a living as a realtor.
Sure.
So I print thousands and thousands of handwritten looking flyers.
Okay.
Those work for me. I've tried many different styles. The fancier ones don't work as well because they just look like junk mail. We don't get as many calls. Some people I talk to do though, and I don't have an answer for that. It just works for me. But those work the best. Handwritten, delivered into the mailbox, and also a small little tip, a little ninja tip. Have them hanging out of the mailbox a little bit. It might sound simple, but when they're just stuck in the mailbox, not everybody checks, or they look for them after a few days. But if they're in the mailbox hanging out, you want it to look like you were driving around, you stopped in front of their house because you like their specific house, and you dropped a note saying, I want to buy your house. That's what the key is, to get people to call you.
Okay.
That's the number one key.
So what kind of message is on that flyer? Are you okay, or is it a secret?
I wouldn't say it's a secret, but it will be in general something to the effect of, hi, I would like to buy your house. That simple. You can say, hi, me and my wife would like to buy a house. Me and my girlfriend would like to buy a house. I'm an investor, I would like to buy a house.
Okay.
Or I just would like to buy a house. Here's my name. My name is Brett. I would like to buy a house. There's lots of messages like this that can work. It depends on the neighborhood. I noticed that neighborhoods where there are a lot of retirees,
Yes.
I changed those messages to more of a me and my girlfriend.
Personal. Okay.
Personal, very personal. They respond well because they look like they feel like they want to help a young couple starting out in life sell their home. We get a lot of great calls like that. In neighborhoods, I notice in the mid to higher end markets, the handwritten notes don't work as well. So you have to adjust it to your market as well.
Okay, so what kind of price range? Sorry guys from different regions, but what kind of price range working with the handwritten notes and what you suggested for the higher end houses? Should you consider even, giving an offer of higher end houses?
Depending on the market, I don't believe you should in the current conditions. Only because, and everybody's different, but only because if you're looking at doing a simple house flip, it takes longer to sell a mid to higher end home in this market. So in Calgary, mid to higher end is, $550, $600, $750, around there.
Because different clientele, right?
Yes, they take longer. The renovations need to be a bit more detailed. They're usually move-up buyers, and they are a little bit more emotional generally because they're moving from their first or second house, and they're looking for perfection. To them is a large purchase, which obviously you can understand. Whereas the lower end markets, it's usually first-time home buyer. As long as it's clean and new, that works great for a property that you want to fix and flip.
Okay.
But those ranges in Calgary are around the $3 to $450 range after repairs.
Okay.
That's usually the range we like to focus in.
Perfect. Please understand that you will be attracting different kind of clientele, potential buyers, because people which they can afford to pay for 500-6 mid-range properties, they are more likely will be working with the realtors, which Brett is also, so he has much more input from that side. However, you will have a much faster turnaround with the lower end properties for the first home buyers, people which they cannot afford conventional way of financing, and they have some challenges.
New immigrants as well.
New immigrants or people which they having a lot of unusual situations that where a real estate investor should jump in instead of having realtor working with you, and that's what most of the investors, and kudos for you because you are covering two. You with one stone you're killing two birds, right? It's simple as that.
Yeah, and that's why we focus on setting the appointment, because this way we don't need to push a seller in one way or the other. We can provide them with options and be of value whichever way they want to go.
Okay, that's definitely a plus. However, I'm not encouraging everybody to become a realtor because there are some challenges.
Yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy.
It's not easy, and you have regulations to follow.
Oh yeah.
And you have to be generating win-win situation, right?
Exactly. So there are disclosures you have to be aware of.
Okay.
And you just have to be extra transparent. Not like we're not already, but you just have to be extra transparent and be careful on how you operate. That's all. But I'm not saying I would recommend it for everybody. It made sense for our specific business.
Okay. You have to be different than anybody else, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you are mentioning, Brett, a lot about flipping. Okay.
Yes.
Is that your specialty, or tell me more? Is it that one of the venue or one of the way of generating income, or you are doing different kind of investing?
Yeah. So primarily, yes. At this stage, we are primarily a flipper. I'm looking for properties to buy and flip.
Okay.
I was an active wholesaler as well, and I feel like it's a natural progression. But I was an active wholesaler. Now, instead of wholesaling them to my cash buyers, I'm now the cash buyer. Some properties I still wholesale, which are usually the agreements for sale, seller financing style deals.
Okay.
Only reason being, I'm not particularly interested myself in single family rentals, and they work well and they work great. Just not something I want to do specifically. For a rental, I would just rather just do an apartment building personally.
And that's why we are driving back. So
exactly,
if you hear some kind of strange noise, because we are inside the car driving from Red Deer to Calgary, right? And that's why, you know, the quality of the voice, I'm very curious how that will pop it up. But, you know, the information provided by Brett is so valuable, right? So doesn't matter what kind of quality, we will be posting that all over. So guys, please accept our apologies, but you know, take it or leave it, guys. Simple as that.
Yeah, I mean, we're providing value one way or the other.
That's definitely right. So
yeah.
We were talking about meetings, right?
Yeah.
And we were covering more likely, and there's so many discussions we can spend, you know, hours on, you know, how to generate the straight leads, right? You know,
right.
We covered bandit signs, and you know, we covered a lot of different topics, right?
Right.
However, one of the things which I would like to also, you know, elaborate more, a little bit more, is about building the recognition.
Sure.
Word of mouth, building the brand and everything. What do you think about that? How that can be beneficial for anyone who wants to work with you?
Okay. So that is a vital key cornerstone of you and your business. The reason is, if nobody knows what you're doing, again, you don't have a business. So if you want to be the go-to person when someone has a deal that suits what you're trying to do, if you're focused on rent to own and nobody knows you focusing on rent to own, someone else who's letting it be known that has the credibility and built themselves up is going to get those referrals. Recognition is key, so that people understand your business. Everybody has to know what you're doing. You don't want to be silent. There's an old saying. I have a martial arts background, so I will say something.
Really?
Old saying that my old kickboxing coach used to say. Closed mouths don't get fed.
Okay.
So, if you're not talking or your mouth's not open, you're not going to eat. The open mouth will get the food. So, let it be known what you're doing, and it goes back to having good high ethics with what you're doing. Be recognized, because that's how you get everything sent your way. It's like passive marketing. You're doing this. The big idea behind this is so that people bring you the deals.
References.
Yes, you want to be the one people come to, and that's why recognition is key.
Okay, so primarily there are some different kind of phases of marketing, and we don't have to even mention real estate investing, but more likely building recognition, building the interest, warming up potential prospect, yes. Making the closure by them to committed to work with you,
yes.
Nurturing them, making sure that they are very happy with that whatever you are offering. Yep. At the time when they are very, very happy, asking for the referral and word of mouth, and make them money too, right?
There you go.
So like the money people, right? Money partners, they are so busy by doing, you know, that whatever they are the best with, right? You know, dentists, doctors, engineers, professionals, store owners, you know, franchisee owners, right?
Yeah.
So you have a potential to work with them on a regular basis, right? So how are you raising the capital?
Okay, well, first, it comes from doing the actual deals, so you have something to talk about. Mm-hmm. Being transparent and having high ethics, first of all, but then approaching people that you feel you can help. Just something I want to talk to people about real quickly, because I notice when people are talking about working with lenders and finding investors, I notice some people feel like they're begging or asking for something. It's not that way. You are presenting a wonderful opportunity
for them.
You don't need them, but you also do, and they don't need you, but they also do. So there's a win-win here. A doctor who has a high income, who doesn't have the energy, the time, the resources, the expertise, the knowledge to find a deal and to know what's a good deal and to recognize a good deal, would rely on someone like us with our expertise to vet the deal and make them money. So why wouldn't you or anyone else who's a high income earner not want to work with someone who can make them money on their money. That's the big picture anyway. So that's where recognition is key. That's how you can work with lenders. I just approach people, everyone I know, and I say we're always looking for partners to work with. And everybody knows someone. Everybody has an aunt or an uncle, a relative, their dentist, their doctor. Everybody knows one person. If you really sit and think and ask, you just have to ask, who do you know that would be interested in an opportunity like this? And then follow up.
And that's very, very important lesson, which I have learned from our friend Mark Friends, which is a very, very close friend of mine, is do you know versus who do you know question. So guys, lesson number, whatever the number is don't ask who do you, don't ask do you know, but who you know who will be, willing to work with us and with you, right? That's very important, guys, because if you ask do you know, they will always say no. If you ask who you know, they will always thinking about the person who may be interested in working with it. So
it makes it an individual question. That's right.
That's very, very important part of the negotiation and building the team of the successful real estate investors and serving the community, to be honest with you, right? So
and just a caveat to add on to that, the fortune is in the follow-up. Just keep talking, keep in touch with everyone you speak with that showed even a little bit of interest until they say either no or they die or move. But stay on them, keep letting them know what you're doing, keep showing them, presenting them with exciting opportunities, because what's going to happen is the more people you end up helping, the more people you end up helping grow their wealth, they're going to want to come in and join. And you can help spearhead and help these people grow their wealth.
Definitely.
That's what you're really doing.
So, okay, we will be wrapping up very shortly at this moment, guys. So, one of the key messages for everybody who's listening this information, right? We will be distributing that on different media. Is, guys, you have to take an action. Nobody will do a job for you. Do we agree about that?
Absolutely.
On top of it is you have to make sure that you are different than anybody else with your marketing. Provide the proven track and reproduce. You don't have to reinvent the wheel at many aspects of it. Use it and ask and network with the successful investors. That's why we have created, and I will be trying to convince Brett to become our team member, right? The reason being is we are associating and gathering the investors Canada-wide to build the team of successful investors per major city. Very simple goal. Do it as we have done it. Don't second guess yourself. It's very important. Don't make mistakes of the school of hard knocks. And that's one of the primary message of anybody who wants to either invest with us, right, Brett?
Right.
Either they want to sell house to us, they want to buy the house from us, or they want to be a team member. We are very straightforward guys, no bullshit stuff, respectfully, right? Is take it or leave it. Don't waste our time. We will not waste your time. But as everybody know, we are very much dedicated to help as many people. And one of the most important messages is it's up to you to decide it if you're going to be successful in any kind of businesses. But we will be providing you on a regular basis with resources like Brett. Thank you very much for providing so valuable information. That's what you have been practicing, working with many real estate investors, right? Kudos to them to teach you, to partner with you on regular basis, and looking forward to working with you on regular basis. Whoever wants to take an action, guys. Otherwise, don't waste our time, right?
Absolutely.
Respectfully,
Thank you,
guys.
Jarek.
So, Brett, how can I reach out to you?
Many ways. You can check us out at www.springportwealth.com. Again, www.springportwealth.com.
Okay.
Or I don't mind, call me directly, 403-910-2999. 2559. If you have a referral or property you'd like to look at, or if you'd like to partner with us on one of our many exciting projects, please reach out.
Okay, so thank you very much, guys, and I believe it. You know how to reach out to me because you are going to be marketed like crazy. All right, that's part of the business. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you, Brett.
Thank you.
Looking forward to working with you, and I'm excited to have you. Oh, we didn't yet commit it yet, but you know the message very, very simple. With whom you're dealing with, you're becoming one. Okay, don't waste everybody's time. Take an action. It's not easy. It's very hard work. We are not promising you. You know, money is growing on the trees. I am an immigrant, so I was thinking in Canada, you know, you just walk and pick up the, you know,
So did I.
money like on the cherries on the trees, but that's
So did
not
I.
true, right?
Yeah.
So, guys, thank you very much. I appreciate. God bless. Thank you, Brett.
Thank you.